Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host. Good morning, and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Adam Huber. He's the Allen County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Jen. How you doing this morning?
I'm good, and today we're going to talk about a topic that if you have them, you're frustrated by them usually, and that's moles.
That's right. You know, in the past few weeks, I've gotten a lot of calls on how to get rid of moles in my lawn. And it can be very frustrating, especially if you're walking across your yard and you trip and fall over a mole tunnel, you know. So, you know, it can definitely be very frustrating for sure.
Absolutely, but there are ways to control your mole population if you have them.
There is. There's a couple different ways that you can go about doing it. Obviously, there's trapping, which is, there's a trap here. There's a granular formula. And then there's also these grub worms. You can find these at a local co-op, you know, anywhere pretty much, has this type of stuff. And we'll just kind of go over the pros and cons of them,
okay,
I guess. Basically, so trapping is kind of an older way of doing it. And since these grub worms have come out, this is probably your best option.
The number one pick.
The number one pick. If I was going to try to get rid of moles in my lawn, I would go with the grubs for sure. This granular formula here is more of a repellent than it is anything. You can spread it on your lawn. If you do have moles, you're probably going to more than likely deter them further out into the property rather than actually getting rid of them for good.
But maybe if you had your prize flower bed or something with a bunch of bulbs in it, maybe this would be a good way to use it to maybe repel them out of that area.
Yeah, that would be a good scenario for sure to kind of get them away from your flower bed or garden spot or what it may be.
But Adam, just the nature of a mole and how it lives makes it challenging sometimes to get rid of, because sometimes it's hard to know exactly where they are.
That's right. That's right. Actually, a mole, they will nest 12 to 18 inches under the soil.
Okay.
And so, you know, definitely that can be very hard to find them. But the spring and the fall is the best time to actually find mole tunnels. And what the tunneling is for is that's kind of their feeding grounds. They'll make tunnels, they'll come up to the surface or the subsurface and make those tunnels looking for insects to eat, grub worms, earthworms, and so that's kind of what they're doing. They'll make those tunnels. And then also some of those tunnels may be used just one time. You know, it may just be a travel area. So it can be difficult to find them, but we're going to let everyone know how to find an active tunnel. Because
when we get calls, usually it's, I've got hundreds of moles because we have all these tunnels, but in actuality, they might not have hundreds.
Right. One mole only goes, is only in 1/5 of an acre. And you're only going to have about 2 to 5 moles in 1 acre of land. So the population and the density is not very significant. So as far as finding an active tunnel, what you do is you go out in your yard and you find your tunnels. You will be able to see on the surface. And what you do is you go over there and you stomp it in the ground with your foot, and you take a flag
and mark it.
And you mark it.
Okay.
Moles usually are most active during the first 30 minutes or the first morning hours and then afternoon hours. About 2 to 3 hours is kind of their most active time of the day. And so put your flags up, then go the next day, and if that mole tunnel is raised back up, then you know that you've got an active tunnel there.
Okay, so, and then that's where you would want to put your traps or these, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. So what you do is you obviously use gloves because this does have a chemical on it. Use your gloves and you just make a hole in the tunnel and you drop your grub worm down in there, and then you wait, and then if you don't see any more tunnels, you know, coming up, then you've done a good job and you actually got rid of the mole.
Okay, and so you probably need to do this in several tunnels, this finding your active tunnel, and then once you do, that's where you set these little grubs, and they mimic little food, like the little grubs, right?
They mimic grubs, yes, that is correct. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you, if you've got multiple tunnels, make sure you flag and every one of those tunnels to make sure you know that you're getting the correct tunnel.
All right, well, Adam, certainly appreciate the information. If you have questions about how to control moles, make sure to contact your local extension office and we'd be happy to help. Thanks, Adam, for the information, and we appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show. Have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.